2.5 million people in the UK used a food bank in the last year. In 2010, that number was just 60,000. Over a quarter of our children right here in Sheffield are living in poverty. 24,000 of them qualify for free school meals. These are not just numbers, they're people. People living in the sixth richest nation in the world, home to 171 billionaires. This grotesque situation stems from the failure of the 2010 coalition government to shield the least wealthy from the punishing effects of austerity. It promised that in tackling the nation's debts, those most in need would be protected. But the reality was swinging cuts to local authority budgets, at the same time as heaping more responsibility on them to deliver those public services. This was the government that preached big society, yet crippled the voluntary sector by cutting up to 100% of funding in already deprived communities. Politicians read numbers and statistics every day that ought to make their blood run cold, that in a civilised nation ought to prompt immediate and radical responses. When national government has been failing for over a decade to meet its primary duty of protecting citizens from harm, it falls to local government to act. As a council, we cannot simply be appalled by the failures of central government. We must do something. Neither can we allow ourselves to be overwhelmed as we face multiple crises, each demanding solutions that will stretch us to our limits. The scale of the problems we face globally, here in the UK and as a city, is monumental. It's clear after 11 years of austerity that meaningful solutions will not be coming from any Tory-led government. That's why it's more important than ever that we unite as a local authority and take a lead. If we are to make meaningful strides in dealing with food poverty, as well as crises in health and wealth inequalities, mental health, environment, biodiversity and air quality, and to recover from the COVID pandemic stronger than before, then this is not the time for outdated oppositional politics. As a council, we are painfully aware there is no pot of government money to bail us out of a food crisis. But as a city, we do have rich veins of human kindness and physical resources to draw on. Sheffield's COVID pandemic response has demonstrated that we do have the will and the wherewithal to ensure that everybody is fed. Passing this motion today will initiate a concerted effort to unite the council, the third sector, businesses and communities in creating a coherent food strategy, seeking efficient and effective practical solutions and an open, stigma-free culture of accessibility.